All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start up by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. It's all praises to the world called God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem, and in the name Yahushai, being the name of the only begotten Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, preaching His word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp, Lord will, with another video to edify. And I saw a video where the Elamite dude set himself on fire in the street, and then he started to scream and shit. He started screaming, run around like he didn't know that fire burns, right? And it just brought some scriptures into my head, and this is the chief one, and it's how the whole lesson came together, man. So this is Zechariah 14:12. It says, "And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand on their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth." And what is this talking about? It's talking about thermonuclear fire, right? So this type of fire is being prepared for those that have fought against Jerusalem. And who's fought against Jerusalem chiefly is Esau, Edom, right? But the Lord has created weapons to bring forth this type of destruction, right? That's what people really don't fully comprehend, is that the Lord has a mindset to sit here and give people these knowledges, right? To give people the understanding of how to split atoms, right? How to get temperatures in a controlled environment up to 1,000 degrees, 1,000,000 degrees, whatever it be, right? Just so that they can sit here and split atoms. Because these are the weapons of the Lord's work. This is what the Lord has prepared, right? Because all the heathen have dealt against Israel very grievously. This is Zechariah 8:2. It says, "Thus say Yahweh of hosts, I am jealous for Zion with a great jealousy. I was jealous for her with a great, and was jealous for her with great fury," right? Because what? All you heathen have been able to have your way with us. Even now, right? The brothers put out that video, and I spoke about it yesterday. But the brothers put out the video where, you had Chinese officials sitting there talking about how Esau kills Jake in the States, right? At an exuberant rate for non-violent crimes. But at the same time, these fucking heathen do the same shit in their own land. They oppress Jake in their own land, but they got the nerve to bring up Esau's, debauchery. It's wicked as hell, because they're using us as a point. They're not using us as, oh man, we feel for you. They're just using us as a point, right? As a jump off, but they'll never do anything to help us, as is written. "O Jerusalem, who shall go about to ask how thou doest?" Right? It says, that's it on that scripture. I'm gonna keep going. All right, so this is Zechariah 2:8. It's like the Lord was just pulling out Zechariah, man. Zechariah 2:8. It says, "For thus say Yahweh of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me to the nations who spoil you, for he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of my eye," apple of his eye. And who are the nations that spoiled us? You get this. Let me get this. This is First Maccabees 2 and 10. It says, "What nation had not had part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?" Because all the heathen have been able to get a part of our kingdom, a part of our spoils. Every nation has had a part in putting us into captivity. Read Psalms 80, the 83rd chapter, right? All the heathen have been able to sit here and put their hands on us and do whatever they wanted, right? So at the end of the day, all these heathen have fought against Jerusalem and touched the apple of the Lord's eye, right? Go back to Zechariah 2:8, see if there's some more on that. says verse 9, it says, "For behold, I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants, and ye shall know that I'm Yahweh, that Yahweh of hosts has sent me." And that's what the Lord's being prepared. He's starting to shake his hand. This is why people are starting to be judged, and that death angel is back out doing his work, right? For a long time, and people didn't put any emphasis on the respect of the Lord, right? On the respect of his word, on the respect of his men. But the Lord is about to get his respect at the end of the days, right? So this is Zechariah 1:15. It says, I started 14. It says, "So the angel that communed with me said unto me, cry thou, saying, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy. And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease." And all the heathen are at ease. Look at their kingdoms, man. Right? Everybody uses Israel as a jump off to make a point, but nobody wants to help. Right? And then in their own nations, they're sitting there oppressing Jake just as much. Right? Chiefly the biggest biggest oppression is happening in America, but everywhere you go, these Edomites, these fucking other heathen, they oppress you just as much, man, because they're trying to keep you down. And this is why the Lord is so displeased, because and they're keeping you down. They're fully at ease. They're comfortable with it. Right? They have no mindset of ever letting it change. Right? It says, and I'm so displeased with the heathen at their ease, for I was at a little bit displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. Right? Therefore, thus say Yahweh, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercies. My house shall be built in it. It says, Salakia. It said, Yahweh of hosts, and a line shall be stretched forth upon it. Right? So the Lord is going to return unto Israel with those mercies, the sure mercies of David. But when we get the kingdom, you heathen are going to be on the other end of that stick, man. But right now, the Lord is taking a account of what you heathen have done. Everyone, chiefly Esau, Edom, and this is why the Lord is preparing this destruction for you. Because the first scripture I brought out was what? That this shall be the plague wherewith all that have fought against Jerusalem, their flesh shall consume away, right? That thermonuclear heat, that fire, right? It's coming. Jeremiah 50:25. You know, and it's crazy how these Christians have forgot. Like, I remember when I was a kid, it was always said, the Lord destroyed the world with water, and he's going to destroy it with fire. Right? I always always understood that. It was always said when I was a child, man. But Christians have completely forgot that was going to be the judgment. The Lord is going to destroy Esau, Edom, and his rulership with fire. Right? This is Jeremiah 50:25. It says, Yahweh had opened his army. He had brought forth the weapons of his indignation. Right? That word indignation means what? Righteous anger. So what are some of the Lord's weapons? The Lord said what? He uses Esau, or the wicked, as his sword. Right? So what the devil brings out, what military equipment, advances, technology brings out, that is all part of the Lord's sword. That is the weapon of his indignation. And so it's for, this is the work of Yahweh of hosts and the land of the Chaldees, you see? The Lord has brought forth his army. This is why everywhere, everybody is coming up with new military equipment. Right? Everybody's talking about military advances. Nobody's really worried about agriculture. In a time where famine is getting ready to be extreme, people are still sitting there just building up arsenals. Because what? This is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He's going to get his licks back. You've touched his woman. The scriptures tell you, I've likened Zion unto a comely and delicate woman. It says, verse 26, come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing be left. This is what the Lord is preparing for his enemies. And Esau is the chief fucking enemy. America is going to be completely destroyed. completely and utterly destroyed. The scriptures talk about this shall be a dwelling place for doleful creatures, unclean beasts, and creepy things. It'll never be dwelt in again. See, the former Babylon, which is in, I believe it's Iraq, right? It's still standing. You can go there, have vacation. But there's a virgin daughter of Babylon that has not felt war on it, right? From external forces, and that's getting ready prepared. It says, slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. And this is what's being prepared. The Lord is preparing the day of your visitation, right? He is gonna burn up you Edomites, man. We're coming. Hey, this is March 16th, 2022, the year of the turn up of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. And we're on the day that the Passover is about to come in at evening, right? And hey, Lord will, these things heighten, right? The tensions heighten because prophecy is coming to pass. And when all these things come to pass, the kingdom is next. This is Isaiah 13. And I started 4. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people. And this is talking about the missiles, right? A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Yahweh a host mustered the host of the battle. So the Lord is gathering all these armies to sit here and bring this battle. It says verse 5. It says they come from afar, and it's not talking about the missiles, Salakia. It's talking about those armies. It says the noise of the multitude in the mountains, like as of great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Yahweh a host mustereth the host to the battle of the battle. It says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. And what is this talking about? It's talking about missiles right here that come from a far country, even the weapons of his indignation. He says, how ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. See, what's been prepared is the weapons of the Lord's indignation to get back. Right? The Lord said what in the book of I believe it's Exodus 30. Let me get this. This is Deuteronomy 32, and I started 40. It says, for I lift up my hand to heaven, and say, I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword, when my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies, and I will reward them that hate me. So the Lord is getting prepared to render that vengeance, man. He's taking hold on judgment, right? That glittering spirit that's talking about the missiles. And why is it glittering? Because that propulsion system, right? You got to think about if the Lord was to come down on the earth and to pick up a weapon, what would his weapon be? Remember, you're talking about the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, the Almighty himself. If he was to pick up a weapon on earth, what would it be? It'd have to be those missiles, man. It would only fit his ability to utterly destroy. It says, I will make my arrows drunk with blood. And what are those arrows? The missiles, right? To make the people's flesh consume. It says in the New Testament, it says, wherein the elements shall melt with fervent heat. How is that going to happen? Through those missiles, those ICBM missiles. It says, in my sword shall devour flesh. It says, and that with the blood of the slain of the captives from the beginning of revenges upon the enemies, right? So that is the beginning of the revenges upon our enemies. Because it's not going to stop there. In the kingdom of heaven, we're going to be putting these nations under subjection, right? The kingdom of heaven is part of the revenges upon the enemies, man, because we're going to be getting you back for everything that you've done. This is Joel 2 in I started when it says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh; it is nigh at hand." And this is what we're saying, man. Right? But you have men preaching a faithless doctrine, right? That nigga Jephthah and the one body sitting there saying that, you know, the Lord didn't split the Red Sea through Moses. Yes, the Red Sea was split. It said they walked upon dry land. But niggas want to preach a doctrine that has no faith, and they take away the power of the Lord. The scriptures tell you you're supposed to talk of his mighty works. Right? It says, verse 2. It says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there had not been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Talking about what that destruction that's coming, those missiles that are coming, there's never going to be another day like it, man, because the scriptures tell you in the New Testament, in the book of Revelation, it says 200,000, right? That 200,000 is 200 million. 200 million missiles, right? Or 200,000 missiles, right? Are going to shoot. Right? The Lord is going to destroy America utterly, man. It says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, and nothing shall escape them. Right? This is the destruction that those missiles are bringing, because this is the Lord's indignation. Right? The Lord said he was a consuming fire, so these missiles bring a consuming fire. The scriptures talk about a besom of destruction. Right? I ended on this Revelation 19 and 20. So Revelation 19, I'll start at 19. It says, and I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat upon a horse and against his army. Talking about they wanted to fight against the Lord. It says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet, right? The whole, Edomite religious system that wrote miracles before him, and with which it says, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast. It says, in them that worship his image, and those Salakia, those both were cast into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. Right? Because ultimately the Lord is going to, what Esau's trying to do, he's trying to set himself up as God. And the Lord is going to cast him down, man. And that lake that burned with fire comes to those missiles, man. I got to get one more. Or two more. This is Micah 4:1. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. It says, in the day that cometh shall burn them up, say Yahweh of hosts, and it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Right? And who's the chief of the proud? You Edomites. Right? The so-called white man. Look at his policies throughout the earth. This dude will throw stones at glass houses and act like people are wrong for retaliating. Right? But this is what's being prepared. The day that's going to burn as an oven, because it tells you right here in the New Testament. It says, 2 Peter 3:10, it says, but the day Yahweh will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, going into those explosions, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, that thermonuclear fire. The earth also shall, in the works therein, shall be burnt up. That's that lake that burning with fire. This is how it's going to come through those thermonuclear missiles, which are the weapons of the Lord's indignation, man. Right? And people's flesh is going to fall away, melt away. Right? Because you're built up of elements too. Right? So Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Shem, Shai, Shimmer, Kakara, Shalom.